Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50, say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake. Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Amon Gray. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0. And bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Amon Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing?
Good morning, gentlemen. AG, glad tidings to you. How's the day, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm up in Dallas visiting my kids. Had a good day last night. Did a Fortnite Lego set with my granddaughter. So, hey, it doesn't get any better than that. So, at dinner, good times, watch it. And then also, trying to still educate my kids in the Force. You know, May the 4th was on was that Sunday or Monday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. So yeah, finish it off Revenge of the Sith last night. So being a good parent here. You know?
I'll be 100% honest. Never watched it. Probably never will.
Hey,
and that's a problem for me. I know.
Yeah. You got to work on that, homie. You got to work on that.
I know. I apologize. Guys, it is absolutely pristine out here in Lincoln. I don't know what the weather is like in your guys' current cities. I don't know what it's like in Dallas. I don't know what it's like in Huntsville, but it is absolutely perfect up here in Lincoln. It's going to be mid 70s today. We got up into the low 80s yesterday. That's the plan the entire week and the weekend. I mean, you know what they say, it's the San Diego of the Midwest, and that's what it feels like right now.
Who says that? Hold up.
Everybody talks about it. Everybody talks about how it's the San Diego of the Midwest.
When did that come about? I gotta know.
Somebody at some point said it. Raph, what are we looking at in Huntsville, my friend?
We're about the same here. Going to be about mid-70s today. Sunny outside. Looks beautiful. Hey, AG, I got a question for you. Is it mandatory that all your kids have a framed AG jersey in the background at all their houses?
No, it's not mandatory. It's just she's ahead of the curve, you know. But yep, she put that. She said, "Dad, I'm doing some stuff at my house. I need a jersey or something and pictures." So I just gave her. She just got some pictures back during the holidays when she came up. So she's getting those ready to get framed and everything. So she has a little area for herself. And I'm right. She went to Prairie View A&M, and you know, at the HBCU level, they still do like big homecoming stuff and all that. And so she was a queen. So actually, I'll turn her. If you can see her
nice.
crown is still right there. You know,
that's massive.
Yeah, that's a huge crown. You can see that. Good size.
Goodness sakes.
Cool.
So, AG, how many like game worn jerseys do you still have?
I have literally all of them.
Oh my gosh.
And actually, I just got a new one from one of the equipment managers up at Draft. I was signing for Panini on Friday, or was it Thursday? Friday afternoon before the draft started, or was started, but during the day, and it was like 3 to 4. And one of the old guys came through. His name is Nelson, but we call him Nelly for short. And I looked over in the distance. He was waving, and I was like, "Hey, let that guy in. Bring him over here." And he brought him in. They brought him to me, and we started talking, and it was just good seeing. He's like, "Amon, I've been holding this for a long time." And he threw this bag in my face, and it had my 2004 uniform.
Really?
Pants, socks, both home. I think both home and away jersey for that season. And so I was like, "Thank you, appreciate you." You know, so I have quite a few. I have my throwback from when we played Detroit on Thanksgiving, the all white jersey with no stripes. Yep. I have that one, and I have a few of my home jerseys and a few of my regular away jerseys as well.
Did you take anything from Nebraska when you left?
I think I grabbed my helmet. I've been having my helmet since I left because, you just, hey, that was something that I think a lot of guys in football, that's what they roll with. Either helmet, some guys got everything, shoulder pads, eye pads, knee pads, and everything. The cool thing was, like, when I got to the Texans, even though it was a rough ride for me there, their equipment manager, they gave us our helmets every season. So for 2 years, I had a Houston Texan helmet. And Mon, here's your helmet, and we'll just get you a new one at the start of the season. I'm like, oh, bet. Okay.
So did you wear your Nebraska one your rookie year with Seattle then, or?
No. They were doing that. They would paint college helmets into the pro helmets, and they stopped by the time they had only stopped maybe 2 or 3 years after I got drafted. So probably like up until about 95, my freshman year, they were still NFL. So you would get drafted. And if you brought your college helmet, they would paint it, 49ers, Packers, Bronco colors, and you could have your college helmet on. They was doing that because I remember talking to one of the equipment managers, and he was joking about it. He said, "Oh man, I'm glad we're past that now," because it was like those helmets were old and beat up, and helmets, obviously, when you're a running back or offensive lineman, you guys know those helmets get broken, like they get fractured. The face, even on the metal, like. Some of the face masks I had were metal face masks that were broken apart. Even the shell had cracks in it. So it's like, you got to exchange that. You want to keep it, but I'm gonna put it on the wall not on my head, So I was like, oh, I was like, they were like, for real? They were telling me, I was like, for real? They was like, yeah, we were painting helmets back 4 years ago. I was like, oh my goodness. I said, that's not good, but it was interesting to know.
What is the process with when you do jersey swaps? Like, is it because you have to then pay for that jersey? Is that right?
No, you don't.
Oh, geez.
So it happened. Like, I started my first jersey swap was at my first Pro Bowl.
Okay.
And Red Batty, our equipment manager, what he did, he stocked me full of my jerseys. He said, "Mom, he gave me about 2 or 3 of my home jerseys and 1 or 2 of my away jerseys. And he said, Mom, you could jersey swap at the Pro Bowl." I'm like, cool. So here's some jerseys. So I did with Marshall Faulk, because he was my locker mate. He was right next to me. And I think I did somebody on defense. I can't remember who it was. But, I did helmet swap, actually. No, it was helmet swap at Pro Bowl. And I did not Mike. It was a Carolina Panther. I don't think it was Mike Rucker, because I don't know if he Pro Bowled or not. Or it was Mike Minner, I think. Did he Pro Bowl? Because I got a Carolina Panther helmet.
Yeah, he might have 1 year.
He might have 1 year Pro Bowl, was the same year as me, so because I have a helmet from Carolina. And then Allen Rossum, he was my teammate. And then, so I give him my helmet. So I'm giving like a real helmet.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Amon, I got you. I don't have one." He said, I didn't know this was a thing. This was my first Pro Bowl. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So this is like my 2nd or 3rd Pro Bowl. And he's like, "I got you." I'm like, "All right, cool." He said, "Give me your address, give it to my wife, and boom, 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 I'll get it to you."
Yeah.
About a couple weeks later, I got the package from Atlanta. I'm like, "Oh, bet, Atlanta Falcon helmet." I opened that thing up. It was the replica. I said, "Hold up, time out."
Oh, no.
I called him up. Hey, Ross, we got a problem. He's like, "What? You got the helmet?" I said, "Yeah, I got the helmet. It's not your helmet, though. It's the replica, bruh. It's like, it's supposed to be authentic, like your helmet that you wore."
Yeah.
Oh, and I still don't have it. Next time I see him, he's a Notre Dame guy too. So I'm like, hey, even though, luck of the Irish right now, you owe me a helmet, bro. I love you to death, but you owe me a helmet.
So we're actually going to come back to Notre Dame, because there was some notable news regarding the Notre Dame fighting Irish a couple of minutes ago. But first, we got a text on the text line that says, did you get a new jersey for each NFL game, or only a new one if it gets ripped or something like that?
Only a new one if it got ripped.
Gotcha.
And so during the season, the most I had was probably like 2-3 jerseys. That was it. But I would say helmets, a couple of helmets got cracked. So one helmet, I think 2 helmets was the most I had in the season. And shoes, I probably only wore like 3 pairs of shoes in the season. But Nike shipped me like 20 pair.
Oh,
it was crazy. So when I retired, the equipment managers, Red and Nelly, they was like, Amon, we need to have a conversation. I'm like, what? We have like over 100 pairs of shoes that you never wore.
Gosh.
Because you wore only so many shoes in the season. Because I didn't take off the same pair. Like guys like Adrian Peterson, for example. We met up, we talked one time, and he's like, I change a pair of shoes every quarter. I said, what? I said, no, I gotta put on a pair of shoes that I've worn into. They fit my foot. I can't just go on a brand new shoe. I said, you do that. He said, and halftime, like, so first quarter, I have somebody, the equipment manager, bring me a pair. Second quarter, and I do it in halftime. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh no, I couldn't do that. That's like, that drive me. My feet would not be happy with me.
No, they'd be barking.
Were your shoes embroidered then? Did you have your initials or number and stuff on them?
Yeah.
I know like Terrell Davis and Shannon Sharp used to have them on their Nikes back in the day.
Yeah, they so what they did, since I went there to Nike campus in 2002 to Oregon. It was fun. It was awesome. It's grown since then. They got, at that time, Tiger Woods had a building. Michael Jordan had a building named after him. It's crazy. But yeah, they asked me things that I like. I was like, hey, I'm a Batman fan. So they took the Batman symbol and made it into, they say you could use this as your autograph, a symbol. I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm like Prince.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm not like Prince. I'm just saying. I'm like, cool, sign. I'm not a great singer. I'm not from Minnesota. So, but yeah, so I have it. I have the shoe. when I get home tomorrow on stream, I'll show you. And I used to do it actually. I learned how to draw it as my autograph for some fans, and some fans and a lot of Packer fans ain't no joke. They remember that, and some people come up saying, "Come on, can you do your Batman signature?" I'm like, "Oh, I haven't done it. I got to start practicing it again." So I thought that was pretty cool.
Man, that's crazy. Guys, so I mentioned before we get to break that Clemson and Notre Dame football, they have agreed, how about this, for a 12-year home and home series against Notre Dame. 12 years. We're used to seeing this for like a 2-year thing.
2 years, 2-3 years.
It's like, hey, let me start off. We'll play in 2027 at Notre Dame, and then we'll play 2028 at Clemson. No, they're going to go from 2027 to 2038 for a 12-year series between Clemson and Notre Dame. It was just announced about 30 minutes ago or so that this was confirmed. But guys, I mean, if you're either Dabo or Marcus Freeman here, you're sitting there saying, okay, that's one competitive game we have every single year for the foreseeable future. I'm sure parts of it was that the ACC stepped in and said, okay, look, Notre Dame, you can do everything you want. You can get away with being in your own, being independent, sure, whatever. Right. But you're not going to get away with playing Wake Forest through our deal. You're not going to play Stanford or Cal every year. You're going to play the one of the best teams that we have to offer.
That keeps it fair. That keeps them on their toes, right? So that keeps Marcus Freeman, his coaching staff, recruiting the top-notch players to come into Notre Dame. Offense, defensive line, D-back, stuff like that, running backs, quarterbacks. So that keeps them up to snuff. I remember going into my sophomore year that we called, I think it was Clemson, to do the Kickoff Classic. It was around this time. And we called a meeting. It was right after, a few weeks after spring ball. We called the meeting up, and Coach Osborne was like, well, guys, we reached out to the University of Clemson and to ask them to do the Kickoff Classic this year with us, and they declined. They declined. They did not want, if you know how, remember on Dave Chappelle where he had that skit where this is what I really wanted to say?
Yeah.
So I wish Coach Osborne said, you know what? They didn't want that smoke. So
I think it actually was Penn State because
was it Penn State? Okay. I knew it was somebody like a big school. I didn't remember that.
Oh, was it? Yeah, because it was. Oh no, that was '94. No, what is your sophomore year?
No.
Yeah, it must have been Clemson. Yeah,
it was Clemson. It was going into my sophomore season, so a game that never happened because nobody. The Clemson was like, no, we don't want that smoke right now. We don't want to start our season and lose half our starters in the game. So
I remember after would have been your freshman year, there was talk of maybe Penn State in the Kickoff Classic, but Penn State lost all their players. They wanted nothing of the '95 Nebraska football team.
Yeah, because they already played them the year before in the other Kickoff Classic. Was it the '94 Kickoff Classic?
Yeah, that was West Virginia. They played.
Oh no, yeah, that's right. Never mind.
But Penn State finished undefeated that prior year, and they wanted a chance at Nebraska.
But trust me, I know that for a lot of years. My teammate Marco Rivera was on that. He was a starting guard on that team with Kerry Collins, Kajana Carter. He's like, come on, y'all stole a national title from us. I said, no, we didn't. They didn't. Y'all didn't make it to the Rose Bowl or to the Orange Bowl. That's what y'all were supposed to do and play us there. Y'all played Oregon. Y'all beat Oregon. So that's not the national title. That was the Rose Bowl. And we just go back and forth about it. He's like, oh, I want my ring. I'm like, there's no ring with Rivera on it, bro. So just leave it like that. I love you, bro, but no, there's no ring with Rivera or Penn State on it for a national title. No,
it's crazy. I sat there and I thought to myself, I mean, now it's wild that we're scheduling games out in front, 2038. I don't think this will be something that's consistent, just because I think it's specific to Notre Dame since they are independent. I don't see Nebraska going and taking Oklahoma and saying, hey, let's schedule this for 12 straight years. Like, that's not going to happen. I think it's because we know Notre Dame's somewhat already in bed with the ACC. The ACC is sitting there saying, well, crap, we're trying to stay in this arms race with the Big Ten and the SEC. Notre Dame just made the national championship, even if it was slightly fraudulent, which I can't believe I'm saying about my boy Marcus Freeman.
Wow.
But what I'm saying, not fraudulent. What I'm saying is Penn State probably should have beat them if Drew Aller doesn't make a stupid boneheaded decision. But what I'm getting at is Clemson and the ACC is looking at this going, we can improve our scheduling difficulty in the way that it's perceived nationally by locking down Notre Dame against at least one of our schools for the next 12 years. 12 years is a long time, guys.
And you think about, it's a long time. And I mean, shoot, you think about the money exchange, right? For both schools or for all the schools, right? Involved. Then it's a good payoff too. That helps the programs grow a little bit better. Even though they probably don't need the help. I know Notre Dame doesn't need the help. Clemson maybe, but not excruciating bad. Needed it. So
no, I mean, guys,
helps the programs in growth.
I'll be 37 when it's done.
I'll be 62.
Dang! I mean, I was.
Wow, we're the same age, Raph. Would be 62 or 60.
I'll be 33.
No, not 12 years back. I'm saying 12 years forward.
Yeah, this is not Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Okay.
I would have, 12 years ago today, I would have been, what has that been? That would have been May 6, 2013. I would have been 12 years old. 12 years ago today. So that's a long time.
I'll be 60.
Who knows if Dabo will even be the head coach at Clemson?
No.
Who knows if Marcus Freeman will, or if he'll already be in the college football. If he'll already be in the College Football Hall of Fame by that point, you just never know.
I put the over on College Freeman being the coach, and Dabo, I will definitely butt him out. That he will not. That he would probably retire before then.
I don't know.
Marcus is young. I mean, he's 30 something.
Yeah.
Do you guys think, is this something that's handled between the athletic directors, or do you think this would be something Dabo that would have wanted to have it at 12-year with Notre Dame?
It's a little bit of feedback from the coaches, but it's all AD. It's all ADs. The athletic department's talking. The marketing department's talking. That's who set this up.
I would imagine that there's consulting done, like AG said. I would imagine that it's a lot of it's ADs. I also, like I said, I think that commissioners got involved. I think commissioner of the ACC, Jim Felt, I think he gets involved simply because he is sitting there going, we are already kind of tied in, but not officially with Notre Dame. We need to lock it down, like I said, so that Notre Dame doesn't go, okay, hey, we're still honoring our contract by playing Wake Forest and Cal every year. Right. We're good, right? That doesn't do anything for the ACC. It doesn't give them a shot, right? No, so the ACC needed them to either play and agree to a Clemson. You don't do North Carolina because, at least for 12 years, because Bill Belichick will not be there for 12 years. Florida State, they're on unsteady ground right now. Right now in the ACC, their white horse, their stallion are the Clemson Tigers with Dabo Swinney. That's the thing and the program that they're most proud of over the last 5-10 years. And so that's why you go with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So either way. All right, guys, we got so much to talk about throughout the course of the show today. We have College Football Playoff Committee that we got to talk about. We also have Husker baseball. They have their last midweek game of the year tonight. That and so much more coming up. So Rafi, go ahead and take it away, my friend.
All right, well, it's all to break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50, say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Billy Currington is back on tour. Friday, June 13th, Pinewood Bowl Theater at Lincoln's Pioneer Park. Live in concert. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Are you buying a home? Westgate Bank understands that you need to make important decisions during your home buying journey. Our local lenders in Lincoln and Omaha make themselves available so you can get the information you need to know. Use our mobile mortgage app to manage your transaction from pre-qualification to closing, no matter where you are. Get the service and convenience you want from a local community bank where our interest is you. Learn more and visit us online at westgate.bank. Westgate Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492. G187747 and G196599.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Early break. You get run over, something's going to happen. But as you got closer to him, you saw he was wearing a big smile. And I thought, he's got this totally under control. my whole opinion changed of the situation. It did. I thought, there's this crazy guy out in the middle of the road. He's got to get this figured out. And then when I saw his smile, I was like, oh no, he's got everything figured out. He's got it all figured out. I mean,
with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50, say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raf, and Amon Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday, Nebraska baseball tonight. Creighton Blue Jays. Oh, Nick.
Yeah.
You going to the game tonight?
I will be out there. I am going to make my way out to the game tonight. A lot of notable things with it. And we're starting to see Nebraska set up for Big Ten tournament play, where they're expecting to hopefully make the Big Ten tournament. They still got a little bit of work to do right now, sitting at 11th place. They play 6th, Michigan this weekend, who is 6th in the standings. I say that we're starting to see them get ready for it because we'll see different arm schedules, different throwing schedules for guys. The guy that's throwing on the mound tonight, not your usual midweek starter. He actually has been a weekend guy for you this season since Mason McConaughey went out. And that's Will Walsh. Will Walsh gets the start on the bump on a Tuesday night. And so you look at that and you just say, okay, hypothetically speaking, he'll throw tonight, maybe can provide some longevity for you going forward. But then on top of that is you play the schedule. Okay, when could he hypothetically be available? He'll probably throw a bullpen. He probably wouldn't pitch to this weekend unless it was in a relief appearance on Sunday or something like that. So you might see a little bit of time, might throw a bullpen on Monday, might throw a flat ground on Monday. But then outside of that, okay, then the following week against Purdue, when it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday series, he'll be available on Thursday or Friday. But then the following week at the Big Ten tournament, just to kind of look forward, it's one of those things of Nebraska would play on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday. And so it's all about trying to get guys ready on a throwing schedule. AG, Raf, you guys know about it, right?
Yep.
To where these guys are on their own specific schedules, to where even if they're not playing in a game, they're still in practice on some regimen of a throwing schedule, just to keep it like a game situation, to where you're throwing every 4, 5, 6 days or so. So it's one of those things where we're starting to see that preparation. Will Walsh has been nails the last 2 years in the Big Ten tournament at Charles Schwab Field. So that is what I kind of imagine Nebraska's thought process is here when they're pretty inconsistent on the mound, guys.
Yeah, well, with Will Walsh starting, he does bring in, helps out where he's only walked 1.69 batters. And so that helps out the hitting right there and his pitching as well. So then with the whole turnover, like you said, with getting Will prepare for this game and other pitchers in the rotation, then come Big Ten tournament time, then hopefully the pitching is where it needs to be so solid, because you got the hitting, but when the pitching is off, like it's been off for this season, that's the part where things kind of teeter, where it's a disadvantage when you don't have the pitching going on like you have the hitting going on. And then points are obviously what you need to get, and try to get points on the board when you don't have good pitching. Or I say points on the board to go fight against a team that's hitting the ball well, as the opponent potentially maybe. You want to make sure you match that up with the same of good pitching as well.
Yeah, one of the things, Raf, that Will Walsh does incredibly well is he limits free passes. I talk about him all the time, how much they kill you. Nebraska doesn't have the margin for error to where they can be giving up too many free passes, defensively, I should say, in terms of walks, hit by pitches. Will Walsh against Creighton tonight, he comes in that he is, hold on, I just saw the statistic. He is, let's see. He is D1 active. He is the D1 active career leader in fewest walks allowed per 9 innings, sitting 6th in D1 active's career list with 1.6 walks per 9 innings. I mean, we're talking about, so naturally, if he goes out there and throws 6 innings, most likely that number shrinks to actually fewer than 1 per game. This is where when you have an offense like Nebraska, that is inconsistent. It's unstable right now. The ability to limit traffic on the base paths and which can allow a solo home run to then turn into a 2 or a 3-run shot for the opponent. When you can limit those free passes, that's when it might be able to provide a little bit of boost and juice for your offense, Raf.
Yeah, that's huge. We always, like you say, the free pass. It's critical especially for Nebraska, it seems like.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you too about that. So now will they move up the pitchers from the weekend, the Saturday to the Friday, or do you think they'll replace with somebody else that has not been a starter?
Well, hypothetically speaking, guys, I think we'd start to see more shifts if Nebraska was, set in making the Big Ten tournament. I think ultimately, though, Nebraska's in this really unfortunate spot to where you have to put your best foot forward every single game right now to try to just stack wins. And because of that, you're going to have to really adjust maybe the game plan or the approach on the mound or who you use out of the bullpen these next 2 weekend series against Michigan and Purdue respectively, because you're not going to be able to go out on next Friday against Purdue and throw 7 innings if you're a starter and then be able to use him on Tuesday or Wednesday. You just can't. And so, but then it's like, okay, you have to approach the Big Ten tournament with your best foot forward. It's that whole thing. And it's with a different format. It's going to look a little differently, but it's that same type of idea to where, and just debate where it's okay. Game 1 of a Big Ten tournament. Do you throw your best guy or do you throw your second best guy and hope that he can get you to game 2 to where then you throw your ace, right? I'm a firm believer, and Will Bolt has shown us the same thing too in their ways. Firm believer, you have to throw your best foot forward because you got to make it to the next day.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then with the later in the week pitching, that's when sometimes a guy come in that hasn't done a whole lot can then maybe get you to a next game. So maybe on a Thursday or Friday, you have somebody that hasn't thrown a whole lot, and then they could gain that experience moving forward if they're underclassmen.
I just think, like, I looked at it. I was surprised to see Will Walsh, his name as the starter tonight, just simply because I looked at last night. And I was talking to Austin about this yesterday. I looked at tonight as this game has no standing or impact on whether or not you make the Big Ten tournament. This does not affect Nebraska's standings. They can win and they can lose. Whatever happens, they're still going to be 11th in the Big Ten standings after tonight because it's not a conference game.
And so, go ahead.
What I was going to say is I looked at tonight as an opportunity for one of the younger guys, one of the guys that's not a high leverage or a high usage, to go and say, look, as the season winds down, and if we get to day 3 of the Big Ten tournament and we're short on arms, I'm trustworthy enough, right? Like I look at guys like Caleb Clark or Carson Yassa or TJ Coates, like some of those guys that haven't thrown more than 20 times this season, and just saying, this is an opportunity. No. But what this tells me is that Nebraska's confident with a few guys, and then they're just hoping that something sticks down the road when they get to it.
Yeah, because the big thing is for them is experience. Having that experience, being underclassmen, like I mentioned earlier, to get that experience, and then come the next season, they'll have that moving forward. And so that just gives them, that education and that experience of what pitches to throw out there from your best pitch to your second best pitch, and knowing batters when they come up to bat, just like batters read the pitchers too. And so, but real quick on Walsh, him not putting guys on bases a whole lot, obviously that's less runs for the other team to try to bat in as well. So that'll be that's another reason, that's a bonus for that. When you're not walking a lot of guys, then obviously the other team got to manufacture runs.
Yeah, there's unfortunately a lot to it with Nebraska because we've spent 15 minutes now talking about the pitching, and that might not even be the most alarming part of this team at times. This offense is really in a, I wouldn't call it a rut, but they've just had so many ebbs and flows and mountains and valleys and highs and lows, because when you look at this team, it took them 20 plus games to use the same lineup in back-to-back games. They've switched it around so much. I said this last night with Austin, but I talked about how on Sunday I was very puzzled to see where Case Sanderson, who's one of your Major League Baseball guys, I was real surprised to not see him in the lineup on Sunday in some capacity. And instead, they went with Colin Cymbalista, who's a backup catcher at the DH position. I'm all for understanding that, hey, guys got to get rest, and you got to give guys a break if you can, this, that, and the other. I'm aware of that, and I'm a fan of that. I'm a proponent. But what I would get at is Nebraska's in no spot to coast, or Nebraska's in no spot to where they can't have their best players available game after game. And so it's really disappointing. And I was surprised Case Sanderson ended up subbing into the game as a pinch hitter late in the contest. But I looked at that and I said, man, where's Case Sanderson right now? Where's the Devin Nunez right now, who's hitting 309 this season, who's a true freshman? Like, you got to put your best foot forward, but it feels like Nebraska's staff is just unsure on what that combination looks and feels like right now, which is not somewhere you want to be 48 games into the season.
No. And it's something where that's where you look at the coaching staff. Do they know their players? Just get to know them and know them as a player and that person off the field, right? And if you have that trust and that confidence in that player, then these players, I could plug so-and-so here, or I could, put them in the lineup. Hey, I could put you at the 5 spot or the 4 spot. You learn that by watching them play and how comfortable they are when they're at a certain spot. And you're just asking the question, hey, is it okay? Let's test out you going at the 4 spot today and see what happens. And then give me that feedback. How did you feel? Do you feel comfortable, okay, at the 4 spot, or you want to lead off? I remember having conversations with my baseball coaches about that stuff, because they knew that if I could get on base and being the speed guy that I was, I could make a triple out of a single. And so having those conversations with your players is how you get to know them and what type of player they are and what they're okay with until they're comfortable for big time situations when they got to go up in the lineup or even go down in the lineup.
I think that's true to an extent. The one pushback that I would have is at some point you just need guys to be able to play the role that you ask them to play too.
Yeah, and that's part of finding out who that player is too.
It is. Yeah. And Nebraska, like, this is where this whole season as a whole is so puzzling, is that this staff should know all of these guys because you returned 7 of your 9 guys that were in the lineup consistently last year. And you move on from one guy in Ben Columbus, and you move on from Josh Caron. That's it. Those were the 2 guys that were consistently in the starting lineup last year that are no longer there. The other 7 returned. 2 of your weekend starters returned from last season. That's where it's just so confusing on why this season is going the way it is. I would equate it and compare it, guys, to where Nebraska baseball for the entirety of the season has been where Nebraska basketball was through the first 5 games every single year, to where Fred Hoiberg and his staff try to figure out, okay, rotations. When do we want this guy in? Who's going to be the guy that comes in off the bench with 2 minutes to go in the first half, to just eat a couple of minutes so a guy doesn't get in foul trouble? In this case, it was Cale Jacobson this year. Like, that's where I would compare Nebraska baseball to be right now, to where the lineup looks so different that you can never get consistent. And that's okay if it's through 10 games through the season, but not 48 games. That's where it's unfortunate. And so Bill and Bennett, and this is where I'll say with Bill and Bennett, he texts in 402-464-5685. He says, sorry, but I disagree, Nick. First off, don't be sorry for disagreeing. I'm good with it. He says anything that gives Nebraska a chance to beat Creighton should be capitalized on. And I absolutely agree. Put your best foot forward. I've been saying that this entire conversation. However, I'm curious, intrigued on to see what they do on Friday now. Yeah. Who's the guy that they lean on when you face 6th place Michigan and you're barely in? You have one spot in the standings of breathing room of making the Big Ten Conference tournament when it's in your own backyard a year after you've won 40 games and had a pretty good showing in a regional, Raf.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I'd love to beat Creighton more than probably anybody out there, but we got to look at the priorities here. Getting into the Big Ten tournament should be the number one priority. So I guess if you just want the pride of beating Creighton, I guess then we're putting our best foot forward there. But right now, I'm locked in. I want to get in that Big Ten tournament. I mean, the only way that your season continues is getting in that Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And Nebraska, I said this yesterday with you guys, Nebraska won't get into a regional based on record, right? 24-24 is where they're at right now. So the only way that they're going to have get valuable postseason experience after the conference tournament is by winning the conference tournament. And so hopefully they're able to get that out of there and be able to handle that going forward on over the next 2 weeks. They have, like I said, Michigan this weekend on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series, and then a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday series against, or maybe it might be Thursday, Friday, Saturday series against the Purdue Boilermakers, who are 9-14 in the conference. And so take a couple of ones that maybe you're not supposed to get this week against Michigan, win the games you're supposed to win next week against Purdue, and we'll see where Nebraska's at in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then you add in the fact that they've been through ups and downs this whole season. So this is one thing where when everything was on the line, they already kind of know that feeling of being against their backs against the wall. So what else do we got to lose at the point? And that's why they were able to do something like this last year. So I think that unfortunate experience of, being, where you got good hitting, but the pitching is losing us the games. We're in that situation where our backs against the wall, so we could fight out of it and win the conference. But then obviously we know that takes a lot to do. Everything has to be aligned with the stars and everything. But you got to go out there and give effort and give good play, good gameplay, which they do. But it's just you don't want to put yourself in that situation. But unfortunately, they are, and they got to play out of it again in back-to-back years.
Fresh from Hickman brings up a good point on the text line. He says Indiana got into the postseason with an RPI of 55 last year. Nebraska's not that far away from that. Win at all costs right now. I get that part. But I will say what's important to note about Indiana last year, they were 33-26, if I remember correctly. So Nebraska sits at 24-24. You have to look at strength of schedule. Nebraska has a good strength of schedule, but they just didn't win enough of the games early on in the year to be able to say, hey, we're at 28-26 this season, or we're at 32-29. Hey, we deserve a spot in. We have to remember on the flip side of that, Fresh from Hickman, we have to remember on the flip side of that, there were just 2 years ago or 3 years ago, a 40-win Rutgers team got left out of the field. It's more so of what the rest of the field looks like as well. And in addition to what Nebraska or whatever school specific you're looking at under the microscope, what that specifically means. So there's a lot of things. I think to your point, you're right. Nebraska has started to increase their RPI, which is why the Michigan series is so important in when you're comparing all the remaining games that Nebraska has. But ultimately, it looks like if you want to assure yourself and not be sitting on your fingers and sitting on your hands waiting and biting your fingernails on Selection Sunday, hey, win that Big Ten tournament, and you're going to be just fine.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say too, perfect world. If you don't win your division games, you're going to be under 500, and you probably don't have a chance at, reach. So they've got the division games are so key right now. So if they can beat Creighton, that'd be awesome. But division games are huge. So, all right, well, we'll throw it to break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50, say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats, including Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Email Jake at theticketfm.com for more questions or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Early bird registration goes through April 20th, and overall registration goes through May 30th.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G121492. G187747 and G196599.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Early break. Get run over, something's going to happen. But as you got closer to him, you saw he was wearing a big smile. And I thought, oh, he's got this totally under control. my whole opinion changed of the situation. It did. I thought, there's this crazy guy out in the middle of the road. He's got to get this figured out. And then when I saw his smile, I was like, oh no, he's got everything figured out. He's got it all figured out. I mean,
with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you buying a home? Westgate Bank understands that you need to make important decisions during your home buying journey. Our local lenders in Lincoln and Omaha make themselves available so you can get the information you need to know. Use our mobile mortgage app to manage your transaction from pre-qualification to closing, no matter where you are. Get the service and convenience you want from a local community bank where our interest is you. Learn more and visit us online at westgate.bank. Westgate Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raph, and Amon Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday. We got beautiful days out everywhere. It's a perfect day for golf. Nick, are you golfing today?
I am not. I am not today. Before we get rolling with history, this segment brought to you by Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected representative since 1999 and can help you protect your home, your vehicle, family, or even your future. Visit one of his 2 locations in either Lincoln or Seward today, or give Jack a call at 402-421-9100 to learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you protect what matters most. Guys, I will kick off history today because I don't usually have one, so hopefully I don't take one of your guys's. This day, 27 years ago, Kerry Wood of the Chicago Cubs has a 20 strikeout game. He allowed 1 hit against the Houston Astros. He also plunked Craig Biggio, but those were the only 2 blemishes on his day where he struck out 20 Houston Astros on this day 27 years ago.
Nice. I remember that. Big picture.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Rafi, what you got for us today?
I wanted to speak more on that. That reminds me of just that time with the Cubs. You had Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood, and it was like, you thought they were on the verge of something amazing, but Pryor was never able to really get healthy. Wood was sporadic at best, but that day, man, he was on that day. So
yeah. Sporadic is a good way to categorize Kerry Wood. That's a good one. He pumped gas, man, but he was inaccurate quite a bit. So what you got for us today, Rafi?
All right, my history goes back to 1915. On this date, George Herman Babe Ruth hit his very first home run of his career. He also went out that day and pitched 12 innings. However, guess who won? The New York Yankees defeated the Boston Red Sox 4-3 that day. So Babe took the loss that day. However, he had a home run and pitched 12 innings. And later on, he would end up joining the New York Yankees, and the curse would begin.
That's crazy. Do you remember? Here's a trivia question. Do you remember where that home run was hit?
Ooh, good question.
Do you remember where were they playing?
Was it in Boston?
It was the Polo Grounds.
Oh, I love the Polo Grounds.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes,
they were playing at the Polo Grounds, and they don't know where that ball is at. They don't know where the ball's at. It's unknown where the ball's at. It hasn't been at auction. It hasn't popped up anywhere. It's gonzo. So Babe Ruth's first home run ball ever is unaccounted for.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think if you find Al Capone's vaults, you'll find
Probably. Probably. Yeah, right.
100%.
The Polo Grounds was where he hit his first ever home run back, like you said, May 6th, 1915. So that's a good one. What you got for us today, AG?
Yeah, man, we talking sports. We got one of the greatest sports games of all time. John Madden came out May 6th in 1994, so 31 years ago. If you remember the 3DO console, Raph, I know, Nick, you weren't around then.
Yeah,
Vaguely,
yes, it was on the 3DO. And so also talking about Madden coming out on May 6th, 31 years ago. I don't know if you tune into your YouTube or you go to Instagram, you could find the College Football 2026 preview for the next edition coming out already is out, Nick. So I'm pretty sure you. I like the little role playing they did with the creator. It's like My Player for NBA for 2K. They've done that. I think it was already in there. They just did a nice little storyline with the character in the game for 2026. So they already got that going. So I'm excited for that already. Looks great.
Well, yeah, on your little road to glory mode, you start in high school again, which is where it needs to be. Do you guys know the first Madden game? Which was the first Madden game released? What year?
Oh, 1988.
That's right. Do you remember what system it was released for?
Sega Genesis.
Close.
I was on a computer.
It was the Apple II.
Was it the Apple II? Okay.
It was the Apple II that it was released for.
I played it.
I played it on Genesis though. That's one thing I really remember. Yeah,
wow.
I had it. So if it came out on the PC or for Apple II, like you said, it probably came out on the console a few months later because then my dad got it for us. He's like, "Oh, this is for us." I'm like, "All right, it's for me because I beat you now." So
that's crazy.
So my friends or my friend had it, and we went to his house, and back then, I mean, it was skin and bones, but it was fun.
The best thing about Madden though back then
statistics.
But the animation. They had an animation where if you hit and blew up a player, he get knocked out. His helmet would pop off, and the ambulance would come on the field hitting people. And that was the best animation ever at that time. And I say of all time because the funny thing about it, the irony in it, the ambulance comes on and they run people over to get to the guy who's hurt. I was like, this is too funny. And they back over the rest of the players to get off the field too. So they're there to get one person that's hurt, but then they hurt a dozen other people coming on and off the field. So it's hilarious.
Hey, that's called job security. That's called job security.
It's called John Madden football, right?
Yeah, right. John Madden football. Yeah, the first one ever in 88. But on this day, you said 94 was the one that was released?
This was on 3DO. It was on the 3DO console.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dang. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But guys, we got a lot of stuff still to get to. A lot of a little bit of NBA. Greg Popovich's news. We got to get to that throughout the course of the show. Let's go ahead and take a break, Rafi. Let's get back on time here, and we'll be good to go for the 10 o'clock hour, my friends.
All right, with all the breaks, it's The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Are you buying a home? Westgate Bank understands that you need to make important decisions during your home buying journey. Our local lenders in Lincoln and Omaha make themselves available so you can get the information you need to know. Use our mobile mortgage app to manage your transaction from pre-qualification to closing, no matter where you are. Get the service and convenience you want from a local community bank where our interest is you. Learn more and visit us online at westgate.bank. Westgate Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Billy Currington is back on tour. Friday, June 13th, Pinewood Bowls Theater at Lincoln's Pioneer Park. Live in concert. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You should treat mom to some barbecue. At Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, we think award-winning moms deserve award-winning barbecue without having to lift a finger. We invite you and your family to gather around our table on Mother's Day for Hog Wild slow smoke favorites, or place an order to go online at GoHogWild.com for a spring picnic where mom is the guest of honor. We look forward to seeing you this Mother's Day. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492. G187747 and G196599.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Amon Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Amon Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. We're proudly sponsored by Doors Plus. If your garage door needs maintenance, you need an entirely new garage door, give Cameron Honda's team a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus is locally owned and handles everything from residential or commercial garage doors, garage door openers, safety tune-ups, or custom design. Visit DoorsPlusLLC.com to learn more. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
There it is. Where are you thinking, Raffy? Where do you want to go, my friend?
We should probably talk some NBA, the National Basketball Association.
It was good last night, guys. You look at, I mean, just off the bat, the three of the game ones were, I mean, all three of the game ones, I should say, they were decided and won by the visiting opponent or by the visitor on the scoreboard, right? You had the Indiana Pacers take game one on the road in Cleveland. Last night you had the New York Knicks. You had the New York Knicks take down the Boston Celtics on the road. And then, hold on, I think we're getting some feedback here, AG, out of your laptop, unfortunately.
Okay.
Let me mute you real quick. So, like I said, the New York Knicks taking out the Boston Celtics on the road. And then last night in an absolute thriller, after the Oklahoma City Thunder try to foul while they're up by 3. They end up getting fouled. They were up 119-118. They had 2 free throws coming. Chet Holmgren misses both of them. And the Denver Nuggets hit a last-second 3-point shot. So, I mean, it's just bizarre, Raph.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And it's wild to see that it seems like the big fans of all these teams have all came up and posted on Twitter or something saying that they had the game won, and then the other team comes back and jumps back. And I mean, that the Nuggets game was wild because if you watch the game, it looked like Oklahoma City was just a better team, and they had and there was guys posting former NBA coaches saying that, hey, Jokic he's a little bit slower. He's not going to be able to keep up with Oklahoma City. And then come the end of the game, 42 points, rebounds, assists, and then the shot at the end. I mean, just a crazy night for NBA basketball. And then the Celtics, I mean, they just couldn't hit the broadside of the barn last night with 3-pointers.
Oh my gosh, guys, they missed 45 3-pointers last night. They went 15-60.
Right, and they had 32 uncontested. So it just was like, okay, you got to eventually call a timeout, recalibrate. But obviously, Coach Mazzulla was basically he's one of those guys that, you know what, sometimes I see coaches do this in the NBA a lot. They know they got the players, they trust the players. Obviously Tatum and Brown, you know, they champions from last year. So and they got 61 wins this season. So you know what, let's just see where this goes. But unfortunately, it never turned around the bend where they were actually hitting the shot. They hit a few to get it to overtime at the end to bring it to even, but you know, it wasn't what you wanted. You know, I have basically that shooting percentage, you know, live by the door or sword, but die by the sword mentality. That's going to happen. And they were now on the flip side of that. The good thing about it, it's only game one. That's the beauty of right here. This, you know, the NBA finals, getting to the NBA finals tonight, you have a 7-game series from here on out. So this is just game one. Look at the film, be like, you know what? As a coach, this is where I need to pull the trigger. Say, hey, let's call timeout. Let's get to the point where we're contesting the paint. Where if we have a uncontested shot, let's get it to the paint and get the foul if they don't come and get in front of us, because that's what the paint is there for. Is the high percentage area. Get there, get the layup or get the dunk, and then also get an and one on top of it instead of just letting the three fly. And I think obviously this is kind of the mantra of the NBA is, you know, live by the three. Everybody, not just the Celtics. I think for me, when I watch between college basketball and pro ball, they are throwing the three-pointer up, and it's hard not to. Obviously, when you have guys like Stephen Curry that's just unbelievable at it and makes it look very easy, but he has a ton of reps, a ton of experience, so that's probably why. But still, hell of a series start for the Knicks to get this win on the road too, mind you. Get it in, you know, Boston. That's not an easy place to play, you know, with all, especially coming from the east side, the east side of the NBA. It's always tough in the East, and to get a home win is a bonus on them as well.
I think, guys, I mean, this is true for all three of the games that we've seen, whether you're Indiana, whether you're New York, or you are Denver. The worst thing that can happen is you return home with a 1-1 tie in the series. You're not down 2-0. That's the worst thing that can happen. Now, one of them or all three of them might strike gold and have a 2-0 lead going back home on your home court. So the possibilities are endless. I would say this, though, to stay with the New York Knicks and Boston Celtics real quick. OG Anunoby adding 29 points last night is incredible for the New York Knicks. However, we cannot talk and give enough credit to Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
Jalen Brunson has made himself one of the superstars in the league this year. And he was like this at his previous stop, but I mean it wholeheartedly. He's leading all of the NBA in points per game in the postseason. He averages just a little over 31 points per game. In the postseason, he's doubled the amount of assists that he averages per game, and doubles the amount of rebounds he averages per game. During the regular season, he was just slightly over 2. Through the postseason, through the 7 games, he's a little over 5 rebounds per contest. And then also from an assists, he's averaging 8 assists per game. So just break it down simply, 32 points a game, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds per contest is what the average is for Jalen Brunson, one of the superstars of the New York Knicks, through 7 postseason games. That'll win you championships. That'll lead you to at least have a shot at winning a championship. And it's kind of just, it's a lot of fun to see, because we talk so much about Nikola Jokic and we talk so much about Giannis and about these other guys, that Jalen Brunson from the guard position is doing some exceptional things right now for New York.
Yeah, you got a guy that's 6'2", 190, and a lefty controlling things. And for me, I love it because I'm a lefty too. You know, I appreciate that he's out there doing his thing. And so, but then it's also that you go back to Villanova days, right? That's when they were at Villanova and doing what they're doing. They had a goon squad. They had a couple players that are prominent NBA players today that was on that roster of Villanova that are now, he's one of them in the NBA, taking his team deep into the playoffs, playing competitive right away on the road in a place like Boston Celtics. So when you have a player that is confident and knows the environment, like this is the environment he wants to play and he thrives in, because that's the same thing he did at Villanova with his college teammates. So to have it here at the pro level, it was able to transition over and not change one bit, actually get better, because he understands what he needs to do between scoring points, passing assists, and grabbing the boards. He's doing all the work you need to do that you want from an NBA player. That's an all-star, you know, out there and a leader on his team.
he maybe did not put up points last night, but the guy that I compare him to a lot is Jamal Murray. Before the series,
for Denver,
it just seems like he always shows up in the playoffs at big times, key moments. So, I see Brunson's game, and it reminds me a lot of Jamal Murray's. Just the fact the way they show up in the playoffs and are just so productive in the playoffs.
So remember, so Jalen Brunson just signed a 4-year back in July of 2024. He signed a 4-year, $156.5 million deal. Jalen Brunson did. And he's looking every bit of worth it in that contract. I think when you look at the New York Knicks, though, they did what they needed to do. And they ran into a night where you had a blend of Boston unable to hit the broadside of a barn from beyond the 3-point line, but then also Kristaps Porzingis, he plays 13 minutes in the first half. I can't play in the second half because of an illness. And so they were able to do that. And we saw Karl Anthony Towns actually able to kind of take advantage of that. Karl Anthony Towns finished with 14 points and 13 rebounds last night. And so this is where the NBA really starts to get good. And it's not that the product is bad during the regular season. It is noticeably kicked up a notch in the postseason. And it's noticeable. And so it's just exciting to see, obviously a couple of overtime games, but then whatever happened in the Denver and Oklahoma City, game, these series look to be like they're going to be game 6, game 7 potentials. And now tonight we start the Warriors and T-Wolves, and it's the veterans of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green on one side going up against Anthony Edwards and one of the youngest, freshest faces of the league on the other side. And it's going to be so fascinating to see, okay, do the veterans end up hanging on and end up taking the cake, or is Anthony Edwards able to knock him off the pedestal?
It's going to be interesting. It's you got the talent out there, and now you got the drive too from everybody that's on the court. So Anthony Edwards, we kind of know where he's locked in right now. He's trying to get to the finals. He's trying to get his team there. He's done just about everything, offense, defense, and just being competitive out there. And this is where you see, like you mentioned, I think it was you or Raph, Nick said that this is where we got competitive basketball. This is where people actually tune in and watch. And we're having that. And like I referenced with Brunson, like I said, college teammate Josh as well. He pulled up. He has a double-double, 14 points, 11 rebounds. So people understand this is the time of year, if anything, you're not sitting on the bench because you just feel a little tired. Even though Porzingis went out with the illness, but you are out there because now this is where the wins count for all the teams that are in the playoffs that are playing ball right now that went down to game 1, where either went to overtime or just a 2-point victory or whatever it was. Guys know this is the time you got to go out there and play ball, play defense, play offense, and make the defense or make the offense earn their shots in the paint. Out in the West, we know how it goes, but in this East, it's going to be interesting who comes out of the East to get ready for somebody, whoever. If it's going to be maybe Denver or OKC coming out of the West, it's going to be interesting once we get to that point.
Guys, I think and Huskers P makes a good point. He says shooting 63s is not a game I'm ever going to watch. It's a basketball game, not a 3-point contest.
100%. I agree.
But it's important to note that is not uncharacteristic for Boston. That's what they do. And that number is inflated because the game went to overtime. So you had additional basketball in there. And also, I think there's something to be said about just trying to shoot your way out of a slump, right? And they weren't able to find it. So yes, right? Like if they were to hit 25 out of 60, we probably wouldn't even be having that much of a conversation about it because that's more characteristic. But also they wouldn't have shot 60 of them because the game wouldn't have went to overtime and they would have been at whatever they were after regulation. And so it's important to know characteristics. That's one thing that Boston does. They chuck up a lot of threes, but most of the time they're not missing 45 in a game. So that's not uncharacteristic for Boston, but I get the point 100% because I don't want to watch a team brick 45 shots.
Well, it's so funny because you're not going to want to really pay or watch 63 shot in a game. However, you have the guy history. You have the guy Steph Curry, who I'd pay money to watch him shoot as many threes as he wants.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So ultimately, though, so tonight we have the Indiana Pacers going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That one tips off at 6 p.m. later this evening. The Indiana Pacers lead that series 1-0. Darius Garland, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, was not available in Game 1. Pacers won on the road in Cleveland. This one, Game 2 in Cleveland still. Darius Garland, a game-time decision, along with Evan Mobley, the former USC Trojan, both game-time decisions ahead of tonight's game. And then, as I mentioned, Game 1 between the Warriors and the Timberwolves. Just to kind of give, it's bizarre, and I understand age plays a factor into the contract deals and the negotiations and things like that. But for the New York Knicks, they signed Jalen Brunson at that $156 million deal over 4 years. The Minnesota Timberwolves got 5 years, $244 for Anthony Edwards. Wow. Anthony Edwards is making $90 million more, pretty much $88 million more, and with one extra season than Jalen Brunson. I get that Anthony Edwards is younger. He's 23 years old, almost 24. I am well aware that like age plays a factor in the contract negotiations, but Jalen Brunson just feels like one of the most valuable players in the league right now, especially as the postseason's progressed.
100%. He has nice control over his game, being a point guard, making the decisions that he can, being a floor leader out there on the court for the Knicks.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep,
100%. Rafi, take us away, my friend.
I was gonna say one more thing though. I know we didn't say much about OKC and the Denver Nuggets, but Aaron Gordon, 22 and 14, and then hits the game winner. Doesn't get any better than that for a guy that usually is not the game winner shooter on that roster, as we know. It'd be either Porter Jr. or Joker himself hitting the shot, or even Jamal hitting the shot, but not Aaron Gordon. So good job for him.
And doesn't it feel like Aaron Gordon has kind of squeezed everything out of his career that he could?
100%.
Like he has done such a good job at maximizing his career. He was picked 4th overall back in 2014. I was looking at this
with the Magic,
out of the University of Arizona. But he's done such a good job of just maximizing his role. He's never been the focus guy for the Denver Nuggets, but he's always been prominent enough to where he's not disposable.
Right. And he understands his role. That's the biggest thing, is understanding your role. Once you get a veteran player that does that understands that, then you got to have a good player on your roster.
Yeah, he's been one of the steadier guys with the Denver Nuggets for a good chunk. He started his career with the Orlando Magic, but then signed with the Nuggets, and ultimately has just maximized his career. And it certainly helps playing alongside guys like Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, though, because that takes a lot of the pressure off of you, I'm sure, when you're on the floor with those guys as well. But okay, Rafi, take us to break, my friend.
All right, well, don't break. It's The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Billy Currington is back on tour. Friday, June 13th, Pinewood Bowls Theater and Lincoln's Pioneer Park. Live in concert. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry, as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197. assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere air seeder during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order Program. Take your seeding performance to the next level with John Deere's advanced air seeding technology. Achieve precise seed and fertilizer placement, optimize emergence, and cover more acres with less downtime. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order Program. Contact your Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats, including Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Email Jake at theticketfm.com for more questions or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Early bird registration goes through April 20th, and overall registration goes through May 30th.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raph, and Amon Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday. Beautiful day outside.
Yes, that's right. And this segment brought to you by our friends at Renew. Call or text Nate, Eric, or David at 402-833-3858, or you can visit Renew online at renewyourauto.com. Raph, what do they do best?
Everything.
That is correct. From Body Shop, ceramic coatings, window tinting, spray in bed liners, paintless dent repair, rust proofing and undercoating. They do it all and so much more. Give Nate, Eric, or David a text or a call today, 402-833-3858, or you can learn more online at renewyourauto.com and see what Renew can do for you. Guys, we talked about the NBA playoffs last segment. And while we haven't gotten to Popovich yet, we have to. We cannot, as we have about 5 minutes in this segment, we cannot forget about the hockey. The NHL playoffs are tonight as well. It's an incredible time of the year because you have Major League Baseball season going in full blast, college baseball season in full blast, obviously softball as well, but then it's NBA playoffs, like second round, then NHL playoffs, second round. And how about this? There's a matchup tonight that not a lot of people are remembering this. Between the Edmonton Oilers and the Las Vegas Knights. It is the second time in the last 3 seasons that they are meeting in the semifinal round. Wow. Second time in the last 3 seasons that those two organizations meet in the semifinal round. And despite the geography being more than, I think it was like over 1,500 miles when I looked it up, despite the geography, there's a budding rivalry between Edmonton and Las Vegas going on. And it all starts tonight. Game 1 between those two teams are tonight, later this evening.
Hey, basically you could say hot and cold. You know? Hot versus cold. You got the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Edmonton Oilers up in the great north of the Canada. It gets a little chilly up there from time to time. So it's a nice little matchup.
Well, it's fascinating because there are members from the Edmonton Oilers as well who specifically they were choosing between 2 teams in free agency. Picard is one of them, is his last name. And he was choosing between Edmonton and he was choosing between Las Vegas. And he chose Edmonton. He's played a lot of time for Edmonton this year. And now he goes and plays against Las Vegas. But it's fascinating because these are two of the obviously better teams in the NHL. But man, oh man, Las Vegas has quickly become a hockey town to where they are good. Like the Knights are very competitive. They took home a Stanley Cup 2 seasons ago. They're very competitive. And so this is the Knights have beaten the Oilers in this round when they've matched up 2 of the last 3 years. Edmonton won it the other year, but man, oh man, that's just a budding rivalry that people might not even be thinking about because so often rivalries are just geographically based. But not this one. Edmonton and Las Vegas, man. You have Connor McDavid on one side and you have the Knights on the other side, and it's going to be fun tonight. So hopefully you can do split screens and be watching all the action.
I'm a little surprised, Nick. I thought you said we couldn't go any further. I thought you wanted to talk about the Met Gala last night, so I'm surprised right now.
I could not care less about that thing. I could not care less. All I know. I don't even know what it is. I just know that people wear some insane outfits and they take pictures.
Oh,
dang! See that you little yapper.
Yeah, I got my daughter's dog. Hold on.
Hey, that doesn't sound like AG's normal dogs. That was about 110 pounds lighter. It sounded like
much higher voice. Much higher voice.
But so Raph. Anyway, I guess out of everything tonight, what are we watching?
Oh man, I'm gonna go Nebraska baseball.
Okay.
And do I start intent basketball watching yet? That's the question. Tracy and I kind of got into watching a little bit of the White Lotus.
Okay, so that's not anything we're talking about. Yeah,
kind of a weird one, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go Nebraska baseball, NBA, and then maybe some hockey because
then some hockey.
I do like playoff hockey. I like the Golden Knights, but then my Avalanche, they lost. They had it in the bag.
That's right.
And they lost. So yeah.
They did. They lost to the Stars last round. So the other game, the Edmonton and Vegas play at 8:30 tonight on ESPN. The first game of the night, though, are the Hurricanes against the Caps. So the Washington Capitals hosting the Carolina Hurricanes later on tonight. That's at 6 p.m. to get things started in the NHL side of things. But other than that, when you look at where did the Cubs list on or rank on that list, Ref? The 22-14 first place NL Central Cubs.
Well, they're kind of up there, but the Royals. How about those Royals?
The Royals are one of the hottest teams in baseball.
Bobby Witt, 12 out of the last 14. They've had 3 shutouts in their last 10 games. I mean, the Kansas City Royals are on their way to another World Series. Ooh, Royals Cubs.
The Royals are 20-16 on the campaign, by the way, but they also have had they have a pretty easy weekend coming up with the White Sox. So the White Sox are who they're facing off against now, which, by the way, every Royals game you can hear right here on 93.7. The Ticket, first pitch tonight for the south side of Chicago, the White Sox at Kauffman against the Kansas City Royals, slated for 6:40 p.m. And so you'll be able to hear that one right here on the Ticket if you so desire. AG, what are you most intrigued by watching on TV tonight? Are you going to be tuning in to the NBA, the NHL, or something else? What are we thinking?
A little bit of everything. I'm gonna catch it all. I'm gonna try to get snapshots of everything, because usually what I do at night, like I said, I go to the one part of my I think I got an Xfinity here.
Yep.
And I could quad box it and watch some NBA and NHL all at the same time. But I don't know if I know I have my daughter's dog barking up a storm here, but I don't know how much you said about Popovich, but
Yeah, nothing yet. Right. I was gonna say what I was gonna say is, before we get to Popovich, is there's just something about the pace of play in playoff hockey that I gravitate towards over NBA. It's something about the pace of play that I genuinely gravitate towards. But yes, Greg Popovich retires as the Spurs head coach. He's going to stay on in a capacity of team president. He says it's time for me to move on, and he supports the Spurs' next head coach. But yeah, just some thoughts on Popovich there, AG.
Yeah, man, just the setup, the scene, the press conference, right? You got Manu Ginobili in the background, Tim Duncan somewhere in the premises as well. So it just shows you the type of coach that he was able to basically connect with his players. And I talk about it all the time, right? Coaches got to connect with players off the court, where you get to know them as people too, and hold them to be able to. And then once you learn them to hold them as, know them as people, you can hold them accountable a little bit better and show them the integrity it takes to be a great player. And I think he's done that. And the stats show 5 NBA championships, always a coach on the Olympic team. And then right now is the all-time leader in wins as a coach. So having that lineage of players, having that lineage of wins, ups and downs, seasons too, but is always a guy that's going to shoot you straight. He's going to tell Tim Duncan, hey, your shot is off. You need to get it right. Like when you have a coach that could basically post you up and ask you hard questions to get you to do your job, and then you don't feel oh man, he's just picking on me. Oh, he's doing it because he loves me, right? He's doing it because he wants me to get better, and that's what Pop was all about. Even when he was the Olympic coach, player, assistant, he brought in that same type of intensity to those players, because obviously we all and fans all are looking at those guys as superstars, and sometimes we give them too much, and he doesn't. He gives them just a little bit, but he shows them the love that they need to continue to be the top players, because you got guys like Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, I know it's a point guard, DeRozan as well, and DeRozan, right, and then now Victor Wembanyama, a young guy, he can still mentor even as president in low capacity, him having a stroke back in November. So that's a guy from day one. When I've always watched the NBA, because when he was playing, it was like when I was playing ball, I was like, wow, hearing the conversations that former players or current players that played for him had, was like, that was a guy. If I was an NBA player, I would love to play for him. Similar to a Phil Jackson out there on the basketball court.
It's fascinating, guys, because you mentioned something about the culture and the way that he treats his players. It's in a day and age, and even back in the 2010s, when a lot of those guys that you just mentioned, the big three of Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan were in their prime, winning championships for him. Even Kawhi Leonard at the start of his career.
Right.
In a world where it can feel so transactional in sports, he was able to keep, number one, that group together, but also do it in a professional way to where when they split up, it didn't feel messy.
Correct.
And I feel like that in a world where it's so transactional, and while Kawhi he left San Antonio and he eventually signed with the Raptors after San Antonio. In a world where it's so transactional, and I can't think of any other word in the time to categorize it. It shows excitement. I mean, it shows promise, and it's easy to appreciate a guy like Greg Popovich when now you see, like you said, the visual that we saw with the press conference.
Right. And like I mentioned, like you say, transactional, whereas it's not business all the time.
Yeah.
That's another way to say it. And that not being business all the time is actually connecting with that player, find out where they grew up, find out who their parents are, what their names are. And then you're able to push and pull on a player when you really need them. And that's where in coaching and all sports, where if you could connect on that level with the player on a personal level, not a business level, but a personal level, you can get things out of them that any other coach cannot. You can push them to the limit. You can say, hey man, I need you now for this. This is what I need you to do in this moment. Because then you're reading their body mechanics. You're reading their body talk. If their mind is ready, you can see, because you know them. Okay, you know what? Tim's not ready for the moment right now. He's doing something. He's got something going on. So let me ask Manu. Manu, can you do this for me right now? Or Tony or David Robinson. He had to take a back seat to Tim Duncan. So I'm pretty sure. I wondered what that conversation was like, right? Saying, hey, Dave, you've been the guy for, whatever, how that went. He had to be straight up with him and say, hey, I got to go with this kid from Wake Forest that we got that is now becoming a rising star, and that's why I was super excited to see Victor Wembanyama go there, because I know he was going to be in good hands, because you get a big guy like that can play, that can shoot from the European side, that like his game is. And now you got somebody that can mentor him up to become that next great big man, not just in the paint, but on the fringe as well, shooting the three-pointer. You're going to be he's at a franchise where he's going to be able to grow and prosper and be that guy that we expect him to be, being a 7-footer that is dangerous, shooting and dribbling all at the same time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Rafi, let's go and get to break. Get our final time out in here, my friend.
All right, well, let's break. Just the drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You should treat mom to some barbecue. At Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, we think award-winning moms deserve award-winning barbecue without having to lift a finger. We invite you and your family to gather around our table on Mother's Day for Hog Wild slow smoke favorites, or place an order to go online at gohogwild.com for a spring picnic where mom is the guest of honor. We look forward to seeing you this Mother's Day. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere air seeder during Landmark Implements Fast Start Early Order Program. Take your seeding performance to the next level with John Deere's advanced air seeding technology. Achieve precise seed and fertilizer placement, optimize emergence, and cover more acres with less downtime. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implements Fast Start Early Order Program. Contact your Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Billy Currington is back on tour. Friday, June 13th, Pinewood Bowls Theater and Lincoln's Pioneer Park. Live in concert. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raph, and Amon Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody. We're back again. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, wrapping up our Tuesday show. Time to go outside and cherish the great weather outside today.
Ref, what do you got for RGT? Kick us off, my friend.
All right, everybody. Today's Ralph's Good Take goes out to the black shirt, number 90, Adam Carricker. It's his birthday today.
Oh, nice.
Just a great dude, great father, great husband, just a great everything. He was one of the guys that I was always excited to meet because I never had a chance to meet him for the longest time. And when I got to meet him, he lived up to, all the expectations. Just a great guy. Enjoy everything that he does on the radio and all of his stuff that he does. So, Adam, I hope you have a great birthday. You are Ralph's Good Take, and throw the bones.
That's right.
Happy birthday, Adam. Happy
AG,
birthday.
AG, what you got for us today, my friend?
Yeah, I got a fun little one here. Is good things will come from self-expression. A little comment. How I read that is be yourself. Show people your true colors right away. Don't hide them for no reason. Be who you are since you were a kid, and you will always, I say, be around the right people. You'll attract the right folks.
Well, boys, whatever you choose to watch tonight, whether it's Husker baseball, whether it's NHL, whether it's NBA or White Lotus, whatever that is, Raph, have a great time. Hey, I don't know what Raf's doing, but we're just gonna
Hey,
let
White
it
Lotus,
fly.
hey, he having some fun. I seen the previews for that series. They don't pull no punches on there.
Hey, I don't know what it is, but whatever you choose to watch tonight, enjoy it. Enjoy the weather outside. Don't forget, we have Steve Taylor coming up next, then one-on-one with DP at noon, and then obviously the captain and the rest of the lineup as usual on your Tuesday rather.
Tuesday, bro.
Excuse me, I
in the future
apologize
yet.
for that.
It's not back. We're not to the future yet.
Oh
So,
my
there you
gosh, I know. I messed up on the days there. But either way, Rafi, we got about 25 seconds, my friend. Take us away.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. Nick, enjoy your walk around Holmes Lake tonight.
Thank you.
Everyone, be nice to each other. We will talk to you tomorrow.